Hi, this is Alan Thompson and
It's Thompson.
coming to you from the agency Coastal Virginia. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about what is going on in the real estate industry and the future of the real estate industry, how fast it's changing. So
fast with everything going on from AI to all of, it's crazy.
You know, it's faster. I've been doing this forever. And so
Since Jesus was born.
Since Jesus was born. 36 years now. And so I've seen lots of changes. I've seen us go from, map books and no GPS and fax machines to the internet and email. And none of that existed when I first started.
Well, there's still people who will call up and ask for the fax, and you still have agents who will send over the hand-signed contracts that crack me up. And you're like, I love it when an agent calls me and says, I've got to go to my office so that I can write the contract. And I'm like,
Yeah.
is that the only place you can write a contract?
So, we do them in 15 minutes, sitting in the car down the street, pull over to the side and write the offer. But, it's changed and I've seen a lot of things change. However, AI is changing our industry faster than anything I've seen in my entire career. It is taking over. What I said a year ago when we started first talking about AI with our agents and giving seminars and classes, what I said was going to happen in 3 to 5 years is now going to happen in 1 to 3 years. And some of it's already coming along and changing. So there's no doubt that tech is changing our world. But the voice capabilities behind AI on being able to talk, we're able to take a contract and put it into our transaction management program and analyze it and give us the bullet points. We're able to, all of our marketing pieces, we're able to do specific targeting. If we have a house and we have a specific target market based on what AI has told us on the demographic profile of that neighborhood, we can now design marketing that targets that demographic profile of that neighborhood to market to.
Right, or we have a buyer who is looking for something specific. We can now find it quicker, easier, and go out and target that for them, where it was so much more difficult before. It's amazing what we can do now.
Yeah, we can actually go, for our buyers, we can actually go and find houses that are not on the market and mail to them so that they can and reach out and email or call or knock on the doors and say, hey, we have a buyer and we think your house would be perfect for them. Have you ever considered selling it? Or what would it take to get you to sell your house?
Right.
Because we're finding out that will happen sometimes. Somebody's been thinking, we're probably going to move next year. But if they got the perfect buyer right now, guess what? Nobody knows what's going to happen next year. Nobody knows what's going to happen tomorrow. And so it's happening fast. So
yeah, it's also interesting, people back when you started in the business 36 years ago, it was 60 days to sell a house. From start to finish, took 60 days. And I'm not talking from the day that you listed a house. I'm talking from the day that you put a contract in on a house to the day that the people sat in front of you and went to closing. And I was talking to one of my very close friends that I've known, my close friend's mom and dad. I just closed on their house 2 days ago. And she said to me, she says, oh, Betsy, what amazes me is when we bought this house, and that was in the 70s, she said, it was 60 days to close, and we closed that house in 10 days. It is a very different world, and it's getting more and more different because of all of the systems that we have in place. And even on a loan today, we can close with a loan in 14 days. And in fact, I closed on a loan in 7 days this past year.
Yeah.
7 days.
If you look at it, all the things that used to take time, we used to handwrite a contract. Well, it had to go to the buyers, or they would come to your office and they would sign the contract. Then we had to deliver it to the listing agent, who then we made an appointment to deliver it, to present it to the sellers. And the counters all had to be manual, and you'd take things across town and all the documents. Sometimes you had to wait for mail for verification of appointments to come in. All of these things were time consuming. You then have the other processes that come along. You've got the inspections, and one of the key thing is appraisals. And appraisals are going more and more computerized and AI driven because there's insurance data out there about the roof and the ages of things in houses. That is shrinking the process. I predict that within let's put this down. In 2 years, you will be able to close houses. Not that it'll be the absolute norm, but you'll be able to get a contract and close a house in 5 days, maybe less, maybe 4. I mean, think about that. Does that change things then? Because then the process is, how do we schedule movers? How do we do that? What happens is everybody else has got to learn to use technology and put the technology in place to facilitate this. Because part of what the stress is when you buy and sell a house is waiting and all of that time. So believe it or not, shrinking that timeline, expediting all of this, cuts out the waiting. It cuts out the unknown. It makes things, if you're gonna have an appraisal issue, guess what? Instead of waiting 10 or 14 days to find out you have an appraisal issue, you find out in 48 hours. That changes things when you're able to do that. So that is a good thing that's happening. Now, we love this. Most of y'all know that we do our business by sphere of influence and referral. We're about relationships. We're not transactional. We don't buy internet leads. We like to get face to face, meet people, have client events, and that's how we like to do things. Here's the great thing. We don't look at AI as allowing us just to crunch numbers and put them through the system. We look at AI as taking administrative tasks off of our plate, off of our staff's plate, so that we can actually spend more time as advisors and spend more time face to face with people and building relationships. And to tell you the truth, it just makes the business more fun, right? That's what you like to do, right? Do you like to do paperwork, Betsy?
I don't do any paperwork. No, and we're in a market now that you can't be. You got to take the salesperson out of this market, and you've got to be an advisor, because that's what people are needing in this market. They don't need a salesperson. They do need an advisor, somebody who's going to help them through the entire process, because this isn't that kind of market anymore. This is, people need hand-holding through this market. It is a very, very different market that we're in today. And I'm finding that from day one all the way through that we're needing that, because every day, I mean, the things that we're going through today in today's market and the ups and downs of today's market, it is more of a roller coaster ride. I mean, we're dealing with agents that are very uneducated. We're dealing with agents that are been around for a very, very long time that are making the process more and more difficult. I'm dealing with that every single solitary day.
You know, it's the process itself. What has happened is it's a more sophisticated market. A lot of people bought their first house during COVID. That was an anomaly that we've never seen in history before. It was a very different market. I'm constantly showing numbers to our agents at sales meetings and saying, here's why this is happening and here's what happened here, and we're looking at it. And so there's a lot of agents right now. 70% of our agents were not in the market before COVID.
A monkey could sell a house in 2020 to 2022.
And so when you look at that, the problem is, for the consumer, that agent that responded to your online search that you ran to so you could get the house, because there were 10 or 12 offers on every house,
or your sister,
that agent has never seen this market before. They're not like us. They haven't seen what a tough market is. They haven't seen a market where the average days on market could go to 60, 70 days, like I showed our agents the other day.
90, 100.
I showed them, I told them, I said, look, there was a time when there was 9, 10 months of inventory all the time. A lot of these agents have come through and they never saw inventory over 2 months long. So right now, when it's 2.3 months, they're like, oh my gosh, there's so much inventory. It's not. We haven't even reached the normalization point of 2018
It
yet.
is still a seller's market, but sellers are stressing out because they're like, oh my gosh, my house has been sitting on the market for 60 days. It is okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that is not, it doesn't mean that your house is, oh my gosh, not priced right. It doesn't mean, I have people, when a house is sitting for 1 week, they turn around and offer me a $30,000 below. That's comical, or my best day. I had this was really funny to me the other day. One of our agents came to me and said that a buyer came through and said that their agent said that this was in a double closing cost market. They were going to get double closing cost. And then on a perfect listing.
Never heard of that,
He
by the
sent
way.
me either. not even in 2017, 18, 16, 15.
Yeah.
He sent me an offer that was $35,000, brand new listing, $35,000 underneath asking price with full closing costs, full commissions. And I was like, that's cute. And he goes, well, you didn't respond. And I said, my client laughed at the offer. I mean, what do you want?
Here's the thing, and it's, to tell you the truth, sometimes, I'm not going to say it's not the client, the majority of the time, it's poor advice from their agent. Their agent is trying to make an impression on the people like they're doing something that it would really make an impression if you would get them the house. And that's what really, when I say we have to be more advisors, you know, I came up in the day originally when the listings weren't on, the internet didn't exist, and the MLS, people had to come to the office to see a book, to look at the one black and white picture and the description of houses to decide what we will go see. The agent had a critical role in that, in picking houses to see. Today, the buyer sees everything. And they don't just see they see 50 photos, they see videos, they see overhead maps, they see all. So the agent's job is not always to pick out houses. It can be in some instances, but it's really not. The buyer is more likely to say, I want to see this house. Sometimes the agents put them on a tech drip campaign where the agent's sending them houses that fit requirements. And the buyer says, yes, I want to go see this. Our job, which is a hard job, and most agents don't get into the position to do this, our job is sometimes to tell you no.
Oh, yeah. I always call myself the no agent, not the yes agent.
Because it is not critical to us to make the next commission. It's critical to us to build the relationship and make a good decision. Our position is we never want to sell you a house that you don't come back to us in 3 or 4 years and are happy for us to list it, and we don't want to sell it again. We want that scenario over and over and over. So, next time, if you want to hear more about this, what you got to do is like,
love,
and follow us so that we can bring you more and more videos like this.
And if you're an agent, ask yourself, are you ready for this shift? And if you're a buyer or seller, ask yourself, if you're looking to move or do anything in this market, call us so that we can help you.
As I'm here to tell you, 70% of the agents should have either already retired or are too new and haven't seen this market before.
But we'll be your advisors and help you through it.
Till next time, Alan
and Betsy,
coming to you from the agency in coastal Virginia.